Paul George said we got to come out with the same intensity that we started the game with, play that way through the entirety of the game, and put this team away in Game 6. We ain't worried about it. We're going to put them away in Game 6. Why are we having this conversation about Game 7? If Paul George was going to do what he said they were going to do, we shouldn't even be having this conversation. Skip, you and I should be discussing the Clippers and the Lakers getting ready to play tomorrow night. That's what we should be discussing.
Correct.
But we're not.
But we're not.
Okay. For me, Skip, am I going to put my trust in Paul George, Skip? Okay, this is his last playoffs in an elimination game. 2017 against the Clippers. Paul George was 5 of 21. In an elimination game against Utah, Paul George was 2 of 16. Last year, against Utah, 2019, 3 of 14. You put your trust in that, Skip? I didn't think so. For me, they better find an answer for Yoke, because that's the guy they have no answer for, Skip. He's 28, 14, and 6 since Game 2. They got no answer. They don't. Zubac is not agile enough to guard him outside. And then when they bring in Trez or they bring in a smaller person, all he does is post him up and shoot over the top of him. So they have no answer for them. The Nuggets just got to keep this. Don't let them run and hide. Give yourself a chance late into the ball game. Now, every time I pick them, they lose, and when I don't pick them, they win. But Skip, I really think the Nuggets are on to something here. I think the Nuggets believe that they can beat this team. I believe the Nuggets believe deep down, they're better than this team. Just don't get down by 30, and it's like, we're gonna be there. Because even what was that Game 2, Skip, they still had a chance. Remember, and they just could not buy a bucket late into the ball in the second game, Game 2, in the fourth quarter. They just couldn't hit a shot because they were right there.
Agreed.
They were right there. So for me, Skip, I'm gonna take the Nuggets. I believe the Nuggets will win a close ball game. But Skip, all I heard from day one when discussing the Clippers was killer instinct. Dog. I mean, I'm like, what the F? They got a kennel out there? Because that's all I hear is, when you talk about Clippers, all you hear about is dogs. Oh, the dogs. Man, they got guys, they can throw this guy at LeBron, they can throw that guy at the LeBron, and this one. Well, you better find somebody you can throw at Yoke. And you better find somebody that can do something with Murray, because he getting cooking now. So I'm going to take the Nuggets in a close ball game tonight.
For once, I have to admit, you are almost certainly right about your pick. I picked the Clippers before the year started to win it all, so I can't back off that. I can't just wave the white flag and give up and say, okay, I give in to the Nuggets. I'm still going to pick the Clippers, but I wouldn't bet, what am I going to have for lunch? Let's see, chicken and broccoli. I wouldn't bet one little piece of broccoli on this.
What about a wood nickel?
How about a plug nickel? Do you remember plug nickels?
I do.
Okay, I wouldn't bet a plug nickel on this, because clearly the Nuggets have their number psychologically. Clearly they have seized the momentum and the control of this series. I'm talking about the mental control.
Right.
They just believe that they've got the Clippers right where they want them. And if it happens to be down 16.5, they got them right where they want them. And all I know is that the odds makers keep indicting the Clippers.
Right.
Because every game up until this one has been Clippers by 8 or 8.5 points.
Right.
Well, okay. So what's that tell you?
Yeah.
The odds makers are saying they're just clearly better than that team.
Yes.
Tonight, it has shrunk all the way to 7.5. Okay. So 8.5 to 7.
But the odds makers still believe in them.
They still believe them by 7.5 points. They're saying that's a pretty significant basketball spread. That's just saying, hey, and obviously it's on a quote-unquote neutral floor.
Right.
It's really not a home game.
Because, Skip, you remember when the Lakers were playing the Rockets, the line was 5.5, 6.5.
It was all the way through.
Yes.
It kept being, even to the bitter end,
Yes.
it was in the 5s.
Yes.
Okay, so what am I seeing here? I'm seeing a joker who has turned the Clippers defense into a joke.
Yes.
Especially in the last 2 fourth quarters. He has toyed with them. He has made them look silly on defense.
Right.
Because they don't have any answer for him.
No.
As a scorer or a passer. They don't have any answer.
Correct.
He's 7 feet tall. He's awkward looking. Doc made a joke about how, you know,
Goofy,
he
like
looks
Kevin
a little
McHale.
goofy like Kevin McHale. but it's great goofy, man.
Yeah.
Because it works. He's playing at different speeds, kind of like Luka plays at different awkward sort of speeds, but you can't seem to draw a bead on it. You can't seem to figure out how to deal with it. They tried to bring Trez in to deal with it, and he just gets devoured because he's only about 6'7".
Yeah, he's too small.
And Zubac tries his tail off at 7 feet, but he's just not good enough.
But he can't because they put him in the pick and roll, and now Yoke is shooting wide open threes.
Okay, so look what he's done in the last 2 fourth quarters. He's 8 of 11 and 5 of 5 from the three-point line. And think about this. The last 2 fourth quarters, Denver has made 7 of 9 three-point shots in each fourth quarter.
Yeah.
That's 14 of 18 in the fourth quarter. Help me out.
You're going to win a bunch of games.
Aren't you going to lose?
Yeah.
Like, if you can't stop that, if they make 14 threes in 2 straight fourth quarters, you got no shot.
And that's the thing, Skip. With that 3 ball, nobody's out of a ball game.
Nobody's out of it, and they will bury you with the 3. And once they get cooking on it, they all start making threes. They got a lot of weapons. I'm not saying they have a lot of great players. They have one great one and one emerging star in Jamal.
Right.
Jamal has not played great in Game 7s. And remember, they're up to, what are we up to? Like 4 straight Game 7s that they've played?
That's all they've
back
ever
to
been.
Last year?
San Antonio, Portland, Utah, and now the Clippers. So, Skip, they know what this moment's about, Skip, because this is football. Because the difference between football and basketball, every game is a Game 7 because it's finality. There is no more tomorrow. So they've been in these moments so many times before. I don't know if any of the Clippers, with the exception, well, Kawhi was in a Game 7 last year against Philly.
He was.
But basically this entire team, this is all they know. Are Game 7s.
Right. So they are battle tested.
Yes.
I've told you from the start, it feels to me like the Clippers' whole season has pointed toward the team they share that building with, Staples. The whole season has been about the Lakers, and all of a sudden it comes down to one game in which they better get serious about the Nuggets. And I don't know if they can dredge it back up because they've given all the momentum to the other team, and it still feels like all the pressure is on the Clippers. I don't care what you say. The Nuggets, it's gravy, man. I mean, nobody really expected them to do much against this team. They got blown off the floor in Game 1, which worked to their benefit, obviously, because here they came. And to your point, Game 2, if Gary Harris drops a couple of threes in the fourth quarter, and he had a couple of wide open, and Jeremy Grant had maybe a couple of wide opens, and they just missed them. They haven't been missing since then. So now it comes down to, you're right about Paul George. He's never been anything but a complimentary star, and I don't trust him. I don't even expect much from him. But what has the Clippers offense degenerated into over the last...
It ain't no ball movement. It's Kawhi. Throw the ball to Kawhi.
Throw him over on the wing and just let him dribble. He's either
going to get to the middle and pull up, or you're going to shoot the mid-range from one of the corners, or you're going to pass. That's it. That's the offense. Ain't no ball.
Try to get in your lane and pass it to somebody, right? And after a while, they just double him, and they all play for him to pass. Stay, watch your lanes, stay in touch with everybody. And he's starting to struggle. He can't get a shot, and he can't find the right open shooter. Well, when they're at their best, to me, when they will blow you off the floor, is when the ball starts to move. Marcus Morris, this night is not too big for him. This stage is not too big. He will make threes. He'll take big shots and make big ones. If the ball starts moving, all of a sudden you'll see Landry Shamet make a couple of threes. You'll see JaMychal Green make a couple of threes. They have other weapons unexploited where let the ball move. And obviously, Lou Williams has got, he has been bubble burst. Ever since you called him Lemon Pepper Lou, ever since that moment he came back from that debacle in Atlanta after the funeral he went to, or the service he went to.
He has not been the same.
He just hasn't been the same.
He hasn't been the same since he re-quarantined. Skip, but the difference in this ball game is